Right, hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to a guide on how to get all of the Codex entries in Nothing is Written in the 5th campaign in Battlefield 1. So we're kind of going in reverse here, but anyway. So anyway, the first mission is hidden in plain sight, and we're going to do the field manuals first of all. I've already done a collectibles guide on how to get all of them, but we're just going to include them in here as well because they are actually a codex as well, and sort of like a ultimate collection guide for each individual chapter, or war story, I should say, or mission. Except this is an individual mission. Anyway, the first collectible there you saw was behind that rock formation there. And then you make your way down to the train area, the train wreck, and the other field manual is there behind that rock. And from there we're going to go round the back of the train wreck. There's going to be another field manual in a box behind the train wreck, directly behind the train wreck, as you can see in the video. So the next collectible is going to be in one of these carriages. It's going to be to the fourth one to the right. Fourth one to the left of the right side of the train wreck. From the locomotive, anyway. Then we're going to go into the desert, so we're going to go back up here to the rocks where we just came from to grab this horse, because there's a super secret camp with a tank in the middle of the desert, which is really quite hidden, because I don't think 90% of people would go that far out into the desert. But there is a tank there which you can use to kill everyone, but since killing people is fairly easy, I guess, although it would be quite useful when you're doing this mission on hard. But anyway, yeah, just go into the desert, should be able to find this camp here. There might be one enemy, sometimes there isn't, I don't think, it's a bit random. But anyway, there's going to be a field manual behind the tent at the rocks, as you can see in the video. Moving on to the challenges, this is the Bedouin, I do not know, but anyway, this is like the stealth section. We need to infiltrate the train without being detected. So this is probably one of the trickiest challenges in the game, but it is fairly simple once you know what to do, of course. Anyway, we're going to go to the left. You want to keep your distance at all times, of course. I'm doing this on easy difficulty. I mean, sometimes you can just run straight past enemies and they won't even see you somehow. So easy, of course, its name does imply that it is easy. But there's going to be a silenced weapon in this tent here, which is why we're going this way as well, because we do want to get rid of a guy who will be on top of the train which we want to get in. Or the carriage, should I say. And he's always going to be there. The routes, like the patrols of enemies, might be a bit different sometimes. They are randomized. Sometimes there's enemies in some locations and sometimes there's not. It just depends on how they spawn. But you just want to sneak past people, of course. You can crouch, control, take your time. Don't really need to rush, of course. Just wait until you can get through this middle carriage here, as you can see, which we're going to go through. And then just shoot the guy on top of the train, and then just get into the carriage through the top.
When your enemy has better weapons and better equipment than you, steal from your enemy.
You do actually need to be undetected until you get to the cutscene, so if you do get detected when you enter the carriage, because I got detected on my first try of this, that does not count, so you need to be undetected 100% of the time, and then you'll get the codex in the cutscene. So enemies having a yellow marker above their head does not matter. It's just you do not want to enter combat, you know, with full-on shootout with red enemies and screaming people and bullets flying. That you do not want.
Well, you did not think we would be fast enough to catch you here, did you? Lawrence of Arabia.
Moving on to Young's Men's Work. This is the second mission in this war story. And we're going to do the field manuals again to begin with. So the first field manual can be found in this chasm here. You might already know this map from multiplayer. If you've played multiplayer and you've played the beta, if you played the beta in the trial, you'll pretty much know this map from the back of your hand. And this is actually exactly the same, pretty much, from the multiplayer map. So yeah, the field manual is going to be there in the chasm. Second field manual is going to be on a rock formation overlooking the ruins. It's the second rock formation, which directly overlooks the commander, which we want to kill or stab or shoot in a tank, which is one of the challenges. And one of the trophies is to actually just melee them all, which is pretty simple. Just melee the commanders. So from there we're going to head off into the desert. We're going to go to the weapons depot, I believe they call it in the game, even though it's more like an artillery battery than a weapons depot, because there's not many weapons there, to be honest. There's more weapons in the town than there is in the weapons depot. Anyway, yeah, it's in the middle of the desert. There is a patrol, so you might want to watch the patrol, or might not. Anyway, the field manual is going to be in the building with the commander, and it's going to be on the bottom floor. And it's going to be in a corner, hidden behind these boxes or crates. And there it is. As well as the commander, like I say. But he should be upstairs instead of on, like, downstairs. Which I suppose I might have alerted him. Which is why he was downstairs. But anyway. From there we're going to head into the town. Obviously you can continue on with the mission, but for the sake of, you know, me, I'm just going to go and do the collectibles. So ride off into the town. Don't matter if they're all shooting at everyone, the town will be completely not alert. Even if, like, chaos is going on at the weapons depot, the town will be completely fine. Everything will be normal. Anyway, the field manual is going to be in this building, as you just saw. You can tell which building is with that wooden gateway, wooden archway, that at the end of the village or town. Moving on from there, as you just saw in the video again, we're going to go around the town and climb up this water tower at the far end of the town. And the field manual is going to be to your left as soon as you climb the ladders. And I just thought, like, I went all the way around the wrong way. So that is all the field manuals for this mission. We're going to move on to the challenges. Now, this is tanks in the desert, and you may be wondering, where the hell is the tank? Well, the tank can be found in the ruins, and we need to kill a commander with the tank, which of course would be the commander in the ruins, unless you've already killed him. Now, you don't want to alert any enemies before you get into the tank, because the enemies will get into the tank before you do. So you kind of need to stealth your way in there, although you can just run past everyone, I suppose. If you're playing on easy especially, you can just run in there, grab the tank, and then kill everyone. So yeah, that's just something to note. Do not get alerted until you're in the tank. And then you can just kill everyone, and especially the commander, which can be found in this command tent here. I had a little bit of trouble trying to find him, as you can see here, but I do eventually get to kill him. You can identify him because he's like the only soldier that's not wearing white, because white is of course the Ottoman uniform. The commander, however, is wearing black, and if you spot him, he's also marked as well. As you can see in the video, he's just marked with like a diamond shape over his big forehead. So kill him with the tank, and then that will get you the Codex entry. And then for the other Codex entries, we need to either shoot a commander with your bolt action rifle or melee them. And now you don't actually need to change your weapon. The weapon that you start with is a bolt action rifle, luckily. So you don't need to go scavenging for a bolt action rifle. You can just shoot him with your bolt action rifle that you have to begin with. Or melee him, and that will get you another challenge. You might have to do this mission again. You can restart from checkpoint if you want to get the trophy to melee them all 3 commanders. Meleeing them, that will get you a silver trophy, I believe it is. And yeah, you don't want to leave your tank unattended, because that will happen. So, it might be an idea to, you know, just kill everyone first before you deal with the commander or something. Or just leave it out in the desert, because enemies will just jump into it, as I discovered the hard way. Luckily there was a horse, and we managed to just run off back into the town again to melee the final commander to get another Codex. But I already did this in my first playthrough. I meleeed all 3 of them to get the trophy. So the commander in the town is going to be in this heavily guarded building here. It's quite difficult to get into, actually, because there's just guards everywhere. But stealth does not matter when it comes to meleeing them. You can just shoot everyone and then melee the commander, of course. Moving on to here, the desert. This is the final mission in the war story. Nothing is written, and there are another 5 field manuals to be found in this town. You can get them at any point during the mission, unless you've finished it, of course. So, the first collectible we're going to get is going to be over here in the ruins, to the east of the town. And it's just there in the ruins. From there we're going to head straight out, and near enough right in front of you, if you carry on straight on, there's going to be a rock formation with the next field manual crate, which is going to have the field manual in it. From there, head round into the village. Now this is actually one of the hardest ones that I got kind of lost finding. There's going to be a ruined building just outside of the village, as you can see here. Is going to be a building with a big hole in it, a bit of a collapsed building. That is going to be where the next field manual is located. From there we're going to head back into the town, and we're going to go to the main building in the centre, I think it is. I'm not 100% sure, but it is just a building where the next field manual is. And yep, it is actually in the main building in the centre. This is the building where the commander was for the previous mission. The commander for the town was, and it's there in that building. And the next one is going to be a lot easier to find. This is going to be just next to the water tower. Actually, this is going to be a rock formation just by the water tower, near the train station, near the train tracks, which is the easiest one to find, of course. So just look for the water tower, and there's going to be a rock formation with the field manual. Moving on to desert cars. This challenge we need to destroy all 3 vehicles without being detected, without being seen, or detected at least. So again, with detection you can get a yellow triangle above enemy's head, so they might be a bit suspicious of you, but that's fine as long as you do not go into open combat, so to say. Anyway, as soon as you start the mission, you'll come down here to this tent. You'll see dynamite and a silenced sniper rifle in that tent, as you just saw. So they will be most useful in this challenge, dynamite in particular. And now this first car is going to be the difficultest car, in my opinion, to plant explosives, because there's enemies all around it, and just positioning of it on like behind a rock is pretty difficult. Because for the first 3 times I tried this challenge, I didn't actually get the dynamite close enough to the vehicles. So you want to make sure the dynamite is right near the vehicle. So you might want to get really close to the vehicle to plant the dynamite. Otherwise, you won't actually destroy this truck and you'll fail the objective, of course. And the second truck, this is like the second hardest truck to plant dynamite near, because there's these 2 guys here, these 2 tosspots on this near the tent on the rock formation. Specifically the guy with the helmet, you need to be careful not to shoot guys in the helmet, because of course that won't actually kill them. And you need to shoot them in the face, that will kill them. Then just plant dynamite and run away. Doesn't matter if they're suspicious, they won't actually see the dynamite, interestingly enough. So yeah, just run out into the sticks, do whatever, and then come back into the village to locate this third truck, which is why you wanted to mark the enemies to begin with, actually. As we saw in the video, I don't think I mentioned that actually, but yeah, you do need to mark the vehicles and the enemies, so you might want to press R1 or whatever it is on PC or Xbox to mark the enemies as well as the truck. So that will make life a lot easier, being able to track the position of enemies and the patrol and everything. And then as soon as you planted the dynamite, make it go boom, and then that will get you the challenge. And then of course everyone will know where you are instantly, and that will be the trophy. There is actually a final challenge to make sure 2 cannons survive the battle with the train. I got that on my first playthrough. If you didn't, then I highly recommend just doing it again on easy and just trying to destroy the train as quickly as possible, because I presume these cannons get destroyed by the planes. I'm not 100% sure, but I presume that's why it's about the aeroplanes, is the Codex. So yeah, just all my advice could be really is just kill the train as soon as possible. If you want any ideas on how to do that, just check out my first playthrough of it, I believe, on my channel. So thanks for watching and hope this helped.